National Union of Metalworkers of South Africa came to the offices of the IDC to hand over a memorandum of demands. We are representing members in the Sedibeng region. Sedibeng is where the companies SA Steel Mills and ArcelorMittal South Africa are located, and it just so happens that this memorandum is about those two companies. On the issue of SA Steel Mills, NUMSA is demanding that IDC as shareholder must direct this business rescue process that is underway right now. The business rescue practitioners are about to appoint a company that's going to take over SA Steel Mills. Based on our engagements with them, we can see that the business rescue practitioners have a bias in favor of a company called Alfeco. Unfortunately, as a union, we have terrible experiences with Alfeco. They used to run SA Steel Mills in the past. It was a disastrous venture. They did not adhere to health and safety protocols. They helped collapse the entity, and we felt it was important that IDC must understand this and play a constructive role in preventing them from taking over. At the end of the day, the money that is used to fund these companies comes from the IDC, and the money from the IDC comes from us as workers and as taxpayers. So we are an important stakeholder that has a right to come here and make demands about this process. So that was one of the things that we outlined in our memorandum. The other issue that we've outlined in our memorandum is in relation to ArcelorMittal South Africa, where we are calling on the IDC to also be vigilant of what is happening at AMSA. Right now, the AMSA is getting a lot of funding from government through DTI and IDC. And we can tell you that as they are shutting down plants, like they've shut down the Newcastle plant and also the plant in Vereniging, they are stripping assets. Those assets do not belong to them, they belong to us. That money that they got from government helped fund the assets of the business. So if they are stripping assets, it's the same as stealing. And it means that when the business is sold, what will be sold? There'll be nothing left. So we're calling on IDC to intervene. We want them to do an asset register and analyze the assets of all the companies there, so that the owners of AMSA right now are not allowed to bleed that company by stealing assets and stripping it of assets. In fact, the right word is that they're not allowed to strip it of assets. The other thing we want to emphasize is that we want IDC to help us to find funding to assist workers at AMSA who right now are in limbo because ArcelorMittal South Africa is refusing to pay their salaries. Those are some of the demands that we're making. We've already handed over the memorandum of demands to Mr. Tepo Ramudibe, who is the head of corporate affairs at IDC, and he has promised to respond to our demands in writing as we stipulated by the 12th of December.
IDC, as always, we appreciate the opportunity to engage with the regional secretary and NUMSA to understand the challenges, but we've been part of the process. The RS has confirmed that the IDC has in fact been part and parcel of the engagements, not only in the BRP process, but our support of the engagements around AMSA is well known. And we've been party to engagements with government and stakeholders that are keen to find a viable solution to ArcelorMittal as a company, because we understand how important the steel industry is to South Africa, the manufacturing sector, the automotive sector, but more importantly, to livelihoods, to workers. So that remains a standing commitment. Please, on that one, rest assured that the IDC continues to work with government. Some of the positions and requirements that NUMSA has presented are government positions to take, and the IDC as an entity of state takes lead from government direction, but we also are able to evaluate where we can support effectively to ensure viability of any business. So that remains a standing position. On SA Steel Mills, even as yesterday, late as yesterday, we continue to facilitate discussions with the BRPs, but also with NUMSA. But the RS and the regional chairperson understands that the IDC has never abandoned the cause of the workers or abandoned the cause of being involved, because yes, we are involved, we're not a bystander. We have not been quiet, and perhaps it's in those discussions, because we're more keen on finding a solution that works for all parties concerned, that people may think we are not, but we remain committed. We've listened to the requirements and the demands of the two memos, We accept them. We understand the timeline that's been given to us for a response. We will do that in that particular time. But in all of that, we want to assure you that we remain committed to work hand in hand with the Regional Secretary, Sedibeng, and everybody involved to find a solution that ensures that livelihoods, the hardship that people have suffered, is managed. Thank you.